Hi, this is Mrs. Huffcutt with the Morrison Mary Wiley Library, and I'm going to show you how to do our January 2022 craft. It's a melting snowman. Your kit will have several things in it. There's a sheet like this. It's on cardstock that has the various parts of the snowman. That's upside down. There you can see his face. And then the big, the middle, and the top. And then you should have 4 strips of paper, blue paper. 2 of them are already glued together at the corners, and I'll show you what to do with that in a minute. And then you've got a piece of blue cardstock. This is actually going to be the base for your snowman. This is his skating rink or his snowbank or whatever you want to call it. And then there's a couple of arms made out of pipe cleaners. And there are some buttons to put on our snowman. And then he, of course, needs a carrot nose. So there's an orange pom-pom for that. The first thing you need to do is cut out your shapes for your snowman. You might need someone older to help you with this. And it doesn't have to be exact because he is a melting snowman. And he is kind of blobbing a little bit. Kind of like the snow we've got outside as I'm videoing this. I think a lot of you probably made snowmen. My daughter-in-law and my son live in Tennessee, and it's pretty warm down there, and she really loves snow, so she's been kind of sad. But they got a lot of snow last weekend, and the first thing she did was make a snowman. And she's a grown-up. But she was so happy to see snow because she's from Utah in the mountains and she loves to go skiing and stuff like that. And when it's 60 degrees in Tennessee, you don't go skiing. So anyway, she was very, very happy to have the snow. I think most of us think it's pretty, but people that drive don't necessarily love it as much as kids do. But I hope you've had a chance to make a snowman or to go sledding or throw snowballs or do something fun with the snow because it won't last forever. It's only here in the wintertime. And eventually, those snowmen will have to melt, just like our snowman that we're making this month. So I'm still cutting out shapes. I've got the big one done. Now I'm working on the middle-sized one. And again, if you need help with this, that's okay. You get someone older to help you. Or maybe you're really good at cutting, and this is good practice for you. And you don't need fancy scissors, just the little school ones will work just great. So there's my middle snowball. And now I'm cutting out his face. And I'm glad he's kept his smile, even though he is melting. So here he goes. Now this snowman is going to jiggle a little bit, and we're going to make that work with our blue strips of paper. So that's going to come in super handy in just a second. So put that aside. Here's my pieces. And now I've got these blue strips of paper. Now remember, I've already glued 2 of them together, but you need to do the same thing. Oops, that glue's gone. You need to do the same thing with the other 2. Oops, that one's gone too. I will use my handy dandy other glue. So while this one's drying, I'll show you what you're going to be doing. So I put some glue on the corner. And we're going to make it a 90-degree angle, which is basically a big L. So we glued the corner together. Now that one's going to dry, and I'll show you what to do. This one's already dry and ready to go. So you're going to fold the paper over, and then the next one, and then back, and you're making kind of a chain with your paper. So you just keep folding it across and up and across and down and across and up and down and across and up and down until the whole thing is together. And you're going to glue the last couple of pieces together. So we'll put some glue in there. I get a little gravity going so my glue will come out. So basically you have this funky little chain. See how it's kind of wiggly? Well, that's going to come in handy for our snowman. Now this one's dry now, or mostly dry. So we're going to do the same thing with these two strips of paper because there's 3 pieces to our snowman. And we need 2 chains to make this whole thing work. So fold up and over and down and over. You just keep folding and across and then down and then across and then up. So I'm going to glue that last, get my gravity here. There we go. Let that dry a second. Okay, so now I have 2 of these funny little chains, and they kind of wiggle, and they're glued together at the top and the bottom. Now I need my base and my biggest snowman piece. So I'm going to take my base, show you a little bit here, and I'm going to glue the bottom some around the outside so it'll stick. I'm going to glue this to my base. It doesn't matter how it goes, just on the bottom there. And then I'm going to take my first chain okay, and I'm going to glue it right in the middle. Somewhere in the middle. It doesn't have to be exact. But see how that's kind of bouncing up? And then I'm going to put a great big glob of glue right on top of it. And now I need my middle, and I'm going to put that right in the middle. It's got to dry for a bit, but when it dries, it's going to be a little bouncy. And now I've got my other chain. I'm going to do the same thing again. So put some glue on the base of that, stick it right in the middle, and then put some glue on top of my chain. And here's my face. Look how he's kind of bouncy. When it dries, he'll be even bouncier. And now I need to make him look handsome. So I've got some arms. I'm going to stick one between the bottom and the middle one, and one between the middle and the top, because he's melting, so his arms are all over the place. So you'll want a great big glob of glue. And this is going to have to dry for a bit, or he'll fall off. So put a glob of glue there. Put my arm in, and I'm going to need a glob of glue over here. Put his arm in. Okay, oh wow, he's looking fancy here. And now I want to put in my buttons, and you can kind of guesstimate where those go. I gave you some buttons of different sizes, so I'm going to go with the biggest one there. And I'm going to put, oops, I might want to put it on the back of it. That would probably work better, wouldn't it? And it's melting, so they're kind of going to be all over the place. This is kind of a messy snowman because he's melting. See how he's looking there? Oops, his arm's not dry yet. Gonna have to sit for a bit. Get that arm in there, Mr. Snowman. And the last thing he needs is a nose. Pom-poms aren't exactly carrots, but they are orange, so that might help. So great big glob. And there he is. there's my melting snowman. And when he dries, he's going to bounce just a little bit because of those chains. See how he wiggles? That's kind of fun, isn't it? But anyway, that's our January 2022 craft. I hope you have a lot of fun making it and that you get to play in the real snow and make a real snowman. Thanks. Bye.